Oh, and by the way, thank you to whoever brought the chocolate cakes in the back. I got them right before the show. Thank you very much. Very cool. Somebody brought Chico's tacos too. I thought that was great. Now, you guys here know what I'm talking about, but everybody that's watching at home, they're like, Chico's tacos? Oh, what the hell's that? It's an El Paso tradition. If you come to El Paso, just know that that's right here. That's the tradition in El Paso. I ran into people in other places like Chicago and New York. I'm like, where are you from? El Paso. And I say, Chico's tacos. And they're like, oh. Like, wow, yeah, that's hardcore. It is the craziest food I've ever tried, you guys. Craziest ever. Reason is, they give you these little taquitos and there's like a sauce and you pour it and like the taquitos float and then it absorbs. And I never thought I'd see the day where I could drink a taco. Yeah. And you gotta have that at the end of the night. Don't try to freaking plan out events after going, They'll say, oh, we're gonna eat at Chico's and then go to the movies. No, don't do that, don't do that. You'll be sitting there like, hey, this is a good movie, huh? This is the one where Nicolas Cage comes out and... Anyway, he plays the bad guy in this movie and it turns out really good. Then all of a sudden... You're running by people. They're like, Chicos. El Paso tradition. You know what's funny? Is that a year from now, there'll be people watching this all over the world. Just like the first DVDs in Canada, Australia, and Europe, this DVD will wind up somewhere in Australia. And there'll be people in Australia going, what the hell's Chico's? Crikey, we gotta go. We gotta see Chico's. You watch. People freaking out. I say, we must go try Chico's. It sounds splendid. Yes, it does. Drink a taco. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm going to try it. El Paso it is. You guys, since the last time we were here, I've had a few things change in my life. Some things happened that were so crazy that I couldn't even believe that it was a possibility. First thing that happened was I had my first ever celebrity death hoax, meaning that someone faked my death on the internet and it went viral. Someone wrote an amazing article that was read by over 30 million people that was so good, even I was like, oh my God, I was so nice. TMZ reported it for 30 minutes until they called my publicist and confirmed that I was still alive. The article said that I had died October 31st from complications of type 2 diabetes. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, that's a hell of a day to kill a diabetic. You know what I mean? That's like killing Santa on Christmas Eve. 30 million people read this article. No one thought to call me. Except Martin. That's right. Martin was the only one that called me. And I think that was just to verify that he still had employment. I got that phone call. Hello? Martin was like, hey, you dead? No, man, I'm good. I figured you would have texted me. And I would have, because that's the kind of friend I am, I even asked my son Frankie, I said, Frankie, did you hear I died? That's what they meant. I go, what do you mean that's what they meant? Well, my friends were asking if you were okay. I go, what'd you tell them? I hadn't seen you. And so, well, apparently I died. Welcome back. And that's another thing that's changed, you guys. My son Frankie is now 18 years old and 1 week away from graduation. You guys are clapping, but he's not leaving. I've already asked him. I said, Frankie, what do you want to do with your life? Have you thought about college? Just now. I'm like, Frankie, you do realize that all you need to do is get accepted. I tell a lot of jokes. I will pay for your entire college education no matter where you want to go. As long as you get accepted. What do you think about that? I say, you know, if you want to go to school in California, we'll make it happen. You want to go to school out of state, we'll make it happen. I said, hell, I'll even do one of those international programs. You know, the ones where you give them one of your children and then they give you one of their children? What is it called when you kid swap? Thank you. Sorry. That's right. Exchange. Some of you are like, that's called human trafficking. Different program. I would love to do an exchange program with my son, but don't give me a regular kid. If I'm gonna do an exchange program, give me a kid from like a hardcore third world country so that he appreciates all the basic things most American children take for granted. That's why I say, give me little Tombutu. Give me Tombutu. I would love Tombutu, and Tombutu would love me.
Mr. Fluffy?
Yes, Tombutu.
I was wondering, what time do we go to sleep?
You go to sleep whenever you like. This is your room. We sleep next door. All of this is for Tombutu? Yes, all of this is for Tombutu.
In my village, 2 families sleep in an area this big.
Well, here in America, one big-ass Mexican kid sleeps right here. Enjoy. And then I would take him to like IHOP or Denny's and let him order whatever he wants and just watch him lose it. You know?
This is the Thanksgiving I heard of. Thank you, Mr. Fluffy. Thank you. If there is anything Tombutu can do for you, please tell me. Anything.
Can you help me take out the trash?
For you, I will eat the trash.
Getting back into the swing of things, we have definitely come a long way from 2020. The fact that we're in a sold-out stadium, elbow to elbow, ready to laugh, have fun. We've come a long way. You know? 2020, you guys, I gotta just thank my dogs. I gotta thank my dogs, because my dogs kept me sane, they kept me happy, they kept me focused. Because I was so depressed, I was sad, I didn't know what to make of things. Do we have any dog owners? Yeah? See, dog owners, you know what's up. No other animal in the world will give you 100% like a dog. What, cat? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to cats or cat owners. But cat owners, you know as well as I do. Your cats, because I know you got more than one. Your cats look at you like you live in their house. You walk in, you try to scold them for something. And then when you try to talk to them, they turn their back on you and show you their butthole. And you're staring, you're like, oh my God, it's so dark. Only a dog will give you 100% of itself. That's why they get so sad when they know you're about to leave, and why they get so happy when you come home. You are literally everything they've been looking forward to. And now you're back! I know for a fact, nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs. I said this last night and someone said, what about your son? I said, nothing loves me more. I could leave my dressing room for 1 minute or 1 hour. When I come back, the reaction is the same. It is the greatest moment ever, every single time. Oh yeah. My dog Vinny will jump off the couch and run towards me top speed. And then when he gets to me, he jumps up and down. And he makes a sound, like a... You can almost hear, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? And he pees everywhere. I used to get upset that he would do that, but then I thought about it. My dog loves me so much, he cannot control his own bodily functions. That's why when I would go home, I would immediately pick him up before anything. And then my girlfriend would get mad. How come you don't come to me first? I said, because the dog loves me more. How do you know I don't love you more? I said, I don't see a puddle. Mira, dry. Yeah, she didn't like that, sorry. But yeah, these dogs, man, let me tell you. And I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering or I'm not as focused right now. I have never been distracted by a blimp with my face on it. I'm sorry, Netflix, but shit, this... This is like a birthday and Christmas.
Found out that Frankie is very sensitive about his mom. And he's at the age right now where affection really bothers him. Not necessarily from me, because if I try to hug him, he's cool with it, because I give those quick bro hugs, you know, like, hey, what's up, you know? However, if his mom is standing right next to me and I reach over and I grab her hand, he sees that as gross and he'll make the face. What? Ah. The hand? That's gross, Dad. I go, that's not gross, Frankie. That's not gross. Baby, open your mouth. That's his weak spot, and I go for it every single time. One day I was ironing one of my shirts that I was gonna put on, right? I'm ironing the shirt and I'm talking to him about his grades. As I'm talking to him about his grades, there's a car driving in front of the house, and the stereo was really loud, and you could feel the bass. So I started dancing. Oh yeah. Frankie starts laughing, right? And it felt good. I was making my son laugh. But then he starts pointing. Why are you pointing? Because you're fat. Your fat's going everywhere. Your fat's going everywhere. I go, really? My fat's going everywhere? Well, guess what? This fat makes your mom horny. And he's like, ah! If I ask him to do something and he doesn't do it, like for example, as parents, you want your kids to go to sleep by a certain time because you need them to wake up in time to get ready for school. Frankie's cutoff is 11 o'clock. It's pretty late if you ask me for a kid. Sometimes he'll push it to midnight. You know, play dumb. Oh, I don't know what time it was. Yeah, whatever, you're only holding a clock. But I get it. I used to play dumb too. So then he'll walk in his room and he'll say, oh, good night, Dad. And he'll close the door. And he thinks he's slick. He takes a towel and he starts rolling up the towel. And he puts it under the door so that I can't see the light coming from the TV. Sounds pretty genius, right? But hello, cover the rest of the stupid door. He freaking turns on his big ass TV and it looks like immigration's breaking into his bedroom. And so what happens is he'll stay up until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's supposed to wake up at 6. His alarm goes off and he sleeps through the alarm. And it's a real alarm. It's not a radio, it's freaking whole house awake. Him? And it's right here. So I gotta get out of bed and I go over to his room and I open the door and I kick the stupid towel out of the way. And then I walk over, you know. And I yell, Frankie! Frankie! Nothing. So I shake him. Frankie, wake up. You know what happens when I shake my son in the morning? It makes him eat in his sleep. That's what happens. I shake him and he does this. Nom, nom, nom. So you know what I do? I get on top of the bed and I slowly lay on top of him. And I apply my full weight, bro, all of it. Slowly, and you could hear him. Oh God! Oh God! You're too big! You're too big! And then I whisper in his ear, that's what your mom said. I know one day my son is gonna write a book called Fluffy's Full of Shit. It's kind of crazy. Do you think your mom would like to meet Vicente Fernandez right now? I said, Emily, let me tell you something. If she says no, I want to meet him. I'll be right back. Ama, dime, mijo. Emily wants to know if you would like to meet Vicente Fernandez right now. Mijo, that sounds nice. All right, Emily, she's in. Emily goes, is she even a fan? I go, trust me, that's her reaction. She's good. She has the whole house covered with Vicente Fernandez records and cassettes. Okay, we're good. So Emily comes back and she puts these special VIP bracelets on us with a little click, and she walks us through a door into the backstage area. As soon as we went through the door, I knew exactly where we were. I was just there a week ago. So I got my mom arm in arm and we're walking down the hallway, okay? Come on, Ma, let's go. Let's go. We're walking down the hallway and we're getting closer and closer to Vicente Fernandez's dressing room. The door is wide open and I can hear a commotion coming out of the dressing room. And then a man and a woman exit the room, and the man is holding on to the woman's shoulders and he's like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And the woman looks destroyed. Okay. Mascara's running down her face. My mom sees that and she's like,
Mijo, did you see that? Did you see what the mascara? What the mascara parece puta la cabrona.
sorry, puta means friendly. So we get by the door, and the closer we get, we start to see a guy in the room. He comes to the door. In the room, there's three people, okay? There's Vicente Fernandez, the photographer, and a handler. The handler comes to the door, and you can tell by his voice that he works for like a Mexican radio station, because he's got that voice. You know, like, hola, hola, pásale, pásale. Pásale in Spanish means come on in. So we start to walk into the room. And let me tell you guys something. If you grew up listening to Vicente Fernandez from a young age and you get the opportunity to meet him, it is seriously a religious experience. My mom and I are entering the room. The only thing missing is the freaking Dominus Patris el nombre de San. You don't look at him, you look at the floor. Out of respect, you just look at the floor. Come on, Ma. We get all the way up to him and I see boots. And when I see the boots, my mom and I both just... He knows what you're doing. He knows you're checking him out. So what he does is he poses, okay? Vicente stands there and he poses. He'll have the sombrero, the hat, to his side. And then he doesn't look at you. He looks away. And he sticks his chest out. And he stands there looking like a big-ass bottle of Tapatio at Costco. And then he looked at me. And he recognized me, not as a comedian, but because I was there the week before and my photo was hanging outside his door. It's whoever's there last, they always rotate the photo. So he sees me and he's like,
Mijo, tú eres el muchacho que está en la foto, que está allá afuera.
I go, yeah, that's me outside, yeah.
Hola.
Vicente, I'm sorry. Le presento mi mamá. I'm like, oh my God, I think I just offered up my mom to Vicente Fernandez. She's like 73, better late than never, ma, get him. My mom starts walking up to Vicente. He was so nice. He goes out to shake my mom's hand, and my mom grabs his hand, and I don't know where she got this strength and energy from, but she grabbed him and pulled him in hard, like the video game. Get over here. And then hooked him. She hooked him and she starts screaming into his chest, Mi chente, mi chente, mi chente. I'm like, oh my God, she's getting horny. And he knew too. Because he was like, quítamela, quítamela. The photographer, the handler, and me, the three of us, is what it took to pull her off of Vicente. We sit her down, she's bawling. Ah! Mascara's running down her face. The photographer shaking his head. I guess Vicente had dinner earlier that night. He was eating barbecue because I had those wet naps, barbecue wet naps. And so we take the wet naps and we start cleaning the mascara off my mom's face. And we stand her up and we posed her and we took the picture. Emily comes over and she takes us and she escorts us to our seats in the front. And for 3 hours, my mom was on her feet listening to she refused to sit down. Mom, you should sit. No, como que es el chente. Holding a shot of tequila that she never drank. She was 3 hours on her feet, never once sat down. That's how powerful his music was. My mom felt no pain for that entire time. And the minute that freaking concert was over, tan, 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 tan. My feet! Oh my God, mijo, mis pies! Ay, pinche callo! Oh my God, my feet! Ay! And I'm like, oh great. So now I gotta drag this living novela to the parking lot. I helped her into the car. My feet! I told you to sit down. You don't sit for Chente. Here comes Emily. Did you guys have a good time? I go, Emily, we had the greatest time. Thank you so much. I got something for you. I go, what's up? And she hands me an envelope and I open it. And inside the envelope is the picture. She printed it out for me. And when I looked at it, I got so choked up because I have never seen my mom so happy in a picture. And it's not that she wouldn't smile. She would smile, but it was that, 1, 2, 3, cheese. But this one was like... And what makes it extra special is that is the last photo I have of my mom, and she was the happiest. And I know that that moment wouldn't be possible if I did not do this for a living. So thank you for that. Sorry, I know a lot of people were like,
We came to laugh. We're getting all pinche gordo. Me está chillando. Oh my God.
This is all right, man. This is cool. You guys are really warming me up for the Tonight Show. I did it once before, and it was kind of funny because I took my mom with me, and we're hanging out backstage, right, and stuff. And Jay Leno walked in, and he was so nice, right? He's like, "Hey, Gabriel, how you going? Welcome to the Tonight Show. We're gonna have a great time. Everything's gonna be great." And then your mom, like, oh, you guys know who Jay Leno is now, huh? So my mom was like, no, are you the one in charge? I'm like, no, mom, please don't do that. Don't mess around.
No, me, I got this one. Don't worry. No, I know him. I've seen him on TV before. Hey, you big chin. I'm talking to you.
No! He was so cool. Mr. Iglesias, very nice for you to come out to the show. Support your son. This is great, fabulous. He gets my mom loaded with margaritas. So as soon as I come out, you hear Jay Leno go, ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Iglesias. And I come out, right? I'm like, what's up? And you hear my mom, go, Chico! My mom, the big supporter. She's happy. She is, man, because at first she wasn't too hot on the whole idea of me doing comedy. Some of the biggest dreams I had, one of them was to do the Apollo in Harlem, New York. I told my mom I was going to do it. She goes, mijo, te van a hacer boo. They're going to think it's Halloween because you hear the boos. And I go and I did the Apollo. And I did good. I haven't done that material yet because you guys are still... No, I'm gonna, now I'm kind of tooting my own horn, in which case I shouldn't be doing that. It kind of, I don't know, as a comedian, we rely on the chuckle, the ha-ha, the hee-hee, even the... Well, some of you guys, sir, you've been giving me this one the whole night. You guys don't realize I can see everybody here, man. I can see you fondling her leg, dude. I've been watching that. I can see everything in here, man. I'm not one of those comics who has to stick to his show. I will let you guys know, you guys are not having the best of times with me. I can pull some CDs out too, and they still got the price tag on them, but one magic comedy. I had someone who not only made it backstage, this person paid to get into my dressing room. Okay? Yeah, he didn't pay me, by the way. He didn't pay me. I'm an honest hoe. Okay? I made no money that day, all right? Yeah, if I would have gotten paid, you wouldn't be hearing this story. Here's the thing. I walk into my dressing room from the bathroom. I just finished showering up and I'm in a towel. I walk into the room, come to find out later that this man was a very wealthy businessman in the community, okay? And when I walked into the room, he's wearing a very, very nice suit. So when I saw the suit, I didn't give it a second thought because he looked professional. I thought maybe he was the general manager of the building, one of the concert promoters. He could have been someone's agent. So when I walked in the room, I'm like, towel, like, can I help you? He looks at me, and it was the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever had. He looks at me and says, listen. I am not here to waste any of your time. Fluffy, I am prepared to take care of you. I will give you a new Lexus and an allowance that's more than what you make as a comedian. Leave with me. I was never more disgusted and offended at the fact that I was not gay. Because finally, somebody wants to take care of me. Do you know how many people I take care of? No one's ever offered me a Lexus, and they should. I felt horrible saying no to this guy. I still think about it. I still have the number. Houston, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I'm gonna say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. I would, all the way up until that one part, but even then. Have you ever driven a Lexus? Those are nice. Sometimes you gotta take one for your own team. I'm just saying. Now, in all seriousness, not to be funny, not to be disrespectful, let me tell you the reason why I would be an amazing gay partner. The level of communication between two men is so high, I might actually get an answer. There might be clarity and understanding. I might hear a yes, I might hear a no. Do you know how many relationships I have been in where I still don't know the outcome to certain conversations? Very simple yes or no questions. That's what I would do. Something as simple as, baby, you hungry?
Well, I haven't eaten yet, so I probably should eat something, but I'm not feeling it right now. But if I don't eat right now, you know how I'm gonna get later. So I guess it's probably a good idea if I start eating right now. But it really depends on the options. What do you think? Ah!
What about this one? Baby, where would you like to eat? You hear all the guys? Yeah. Finally! I'm not alone! Everybody's pointing at somebody right now. Guys, am I right? This has to be, you would think that this is the safest question in the world to ask, but it's not.
Well, just pick something. You know me, I'm go with the flow. Whatever you decide is okay with me. You know me already, just pick something.
All right, we're going to Burger King.
I don't like Burger King.
Why do we gotta go to Burger King? Burger King gives me chorro. Chorro is Mexican diarrhea. How about this one? How do you feel? Really? Really? You want to know how I feel? Well, you know, maybe if you'd pay attention from time to time, you might know how I feel. You might not need to have to ask me such a question because you would already know exactly how I feel. The amount of time and energy I've exhausted to let you know how I feel, and you have the nerve to ask me, how do you feel? Now imagine the exact same conversation between me and Mr. Lexus. Do you know how efficient that conversation would be? Hey, bro, you hungry? Thought you'd never ask. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. We're going to Burger King. I love Whoppers.
Me too.
We go to Burger King and we tear it up. We get back home and I ask him, hey, how do you feel? Horny. Me too. How do you want to do this? Heads or tails? It would be efficient. I was celebrating the fact that I got away with that for so long. For so long. I snuck backstage at Chris Rock. I snuck backstage. Until karma showed up one day in the form of the most extreme fan I have ever had in 20 years of me being a comedian. I had someone who not only made it backstage, this person paid to get into my dressing room, okay? Yeah, he didn't pay me, by the way. He didn't pay me. I'm an honest hoe, okay? I made no money that day, all right? Yeah, if I would've gotten paid, you wouldn't be hearing this story. Here's the thing. I walk into my dressing room from the bathroom. I just finished showering up and I'm in a towel. I walk into the room. Come to find out later that this man was a very wealthy businessman in the community, okay? And when I walked into the room, he's wearing a very, very nice suit. So when I saw the suit, I didn't give it a second thought because he looked professional. I thought maybe he was the general manager of the building, one of the concert promoters. He could have been someone's agent. So when I walked in the room in my towel, like, can I help you? He looks at me, and it was the most uncomfortable conversation I have ever had. He looks at me and says,
Listen. I am not here to waste any of your time. Fluffy, I am prepared to take care of you. I will give you a new Lexus and an allowance that's more than what you make as a comedian. Leave with me. I was never more disgusted and offended at the fact that I was not gay. Because finally, somebody wants to take care of me. Do you know how many people I take care of? No one's ever offered me a Lexus, and they should. I felt horrible saying no to this guy. I still think about it. I still have the number. Houston, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't know how this is gonna go over, but I'm gonna say it. I would be an amazing gay partner. I would, all the way up until that one part, but even then. Have you ever driven a Lexus? Those are nice. Sometimes you gotta take one for your own team. I'm just saying. Now, in all seriousness, not to be funny, not to be disrespectful, let me tell you the reason why I would be an amazing gay partner. The level of communication between two men is so high, I might actually get an answer. There might be clarity and understanding. I might hear a yes. I might hear a no. Do you know how many relationships I have been in where I still don't know the outcome to certain conversations? Very simple yes or no questions. That's what I would do. Something as simple as, baby, you hungry? Well, I haven't eaten yet, so I probably should eat something, but I'm not feeling it right now. But if I don't eat right now, you know how I'm gonna get later. So I guess it's probably a good idea if I start eating right now. But it really depends on the options. What do you think? Ah! What about this one? Baby, where would you like to eat? You hear all the guys? Yeah. Finally! I'm not alone! Everybody's pointing at somebody right now. Guys, am I right? This has to be, you would think that this is the safest question in the world to ask, but it's not. Well, just pick something. You know me, I'm go with the flow. Whatever you decide is okay with me. You know me already, just pick something. All right, we're going to Burger King. I don't like Burger King. Why do we gotta go to Burger King? Burger King gives me chorro. Chorro is Mexican diarrhea. How about this one? How do you feel? Really? Really? You want to know how I feel? Well, you know, maybe if you'd pay attention from time to time, you might know how I feel. You might not need to have to ask me such a question because you would already know exactly how I feel. The amount of time and energy I've exhausted to let you know how I feel, and you have the nerve to ask me, how do you feel? Now imagine the exact same conversation between me and Mr. Lexus. Do you know how efficient that conversation would be? Hey, bro, you hungry? Thought you'd never ask. What do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. We're going to Burger King. I love Whoppers. Me too.
We go to Burger King and we tear it up. We get back home and I ask him, hey, how do you feel? Horny.
Me too.
How do you want to do this? Heads or tails?
It would be efficient.
So I get a letter in the mail from my old high school, and it's like, you know, time for the reunion. My girlfriend saw the letter. She's like, ooh, your reunion. I go, yeah, my reunion. When is it? When are we going? Actually, I was going to take my friend Tony, because, you know, we went to high school together. He's my best friend since high school, so I was going to take Tony. You're going to take Tony instead of me. That's what's going to happen, huh? You're going to take Tony instead of me. Your girlfriend, you're going to take Tony. No. It's okay. It's okay. You take Tony, okay? And I hope you have a great time. Oh, thanks. I knew you'd understand, baby. I love you. Don't ask too many questions, you know what I mean? So my buddy Tony and I, we go to a high school reunion. We get there early, too early. There's nobody in the banquet hall. So we go upstairs to the bar area. We're watching a basketball game. Everything is cool until some guy recognized me. Hey, you're the comedian. What's up, dude? Dude, funny, bro. Let me buy you a shot. Actually, man, I have my reunion right now, and I don't want to show up drunk. Oh, I see how it is, bro. You're too good, huh? That's what it is, huh? Excuse me, George Lopez. Let's do the stupid shot. All right, bartender shot. So he freaking makes a double. And we freaking cling, cling, and slammed it. I'm like, oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Let's do another one. Oh, hey, man, I'm okay. Thank you. See how it is, Paul Rodriguez? Let's do another shot. And he kept this pattern going. He must have had like 7 comedians behind his freaking wallet, you know? One after another. I got so drunk. I was that level of drunk where you can't even walk straight. You got to look at the ground to navigate, you know? You're just kind of... I get to the reunion. There's a lady at a table, and she's got stickers on the table that say, hello, my name is. And then with a Sharpie, you write your name. I was so drunk, I couldn't even write Gabriel. I wrote Flaco, which is Spanish for skinny. So, you know, I freaking write that, stick it on, and we walk in. The party's going on, you know. I'm trying to find a table. My buddy Tony took off. I couldn't find him. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. All of a sudden, the lights come up and the class president is holding the microphone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wilson High School class reunion. Let's just cut to the chase, find out what everyone's been up to, and keep the party rocking.
So she pulls out a list.
Who's done this? Who's done that? Who has the most children?
Some girl in the back.
7.
Everybody's like, puta. Now you remember. Okay. All right? She keeps going down the list.
Who's done this? Who's done that? Who's been on television?
Everybody at my table who wasn't talking to me before, you know, they weren't talking to me before. Now they're like, right here, right here, right here. I'm like, no, I'm drunk, no, shh. Sure enough, here comes the girl.
Oh, we have a celebrity over here. Come on, say something. Get up here, Flaco. Come on, Flaco, get up here.
No, I'm okay.
Oh, come on, get up here. Are you too good or what?
So I got mad and I jumped up. I'm not too good. Everybody, my name is Gabriel Iglesias. I don't want to say a whole lot right now because I've been drinking and I don't want to say nothing stupid. It's really nice to be here with everybody. I see 2 girls here tonight. 2 who, when I was in the 12th grade, I asked out to the prom. And they said no. But you know what? It's okay. Let me go. It's okay. You know what? It's okay because like she said, I've been on TV. And you two girls who said no, you got fat. One of them yells out,
You're fat too.
I know I'm fat, but I was fat in high school. I kept my figure, why couldn't you?
Because, you know, after 2019, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. Honestly, for me, I thought that 2019 was the best year I ever had in comedy. And the reason why I say this is because I was this close to hosting the Oscars. Yeah. Pretty sure I got a good chance next year. The year that I almost got to host, that was the year that Kevin Hart was supposed to host. And I don't know if you guys remember the story or not, but basically, Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars. And anytime you host, the background check is next level, okay? They go through all of your social media, all the way back to MySpace. People over 40, you know what's up. Come to find out that 10 years ago, Kevin Hart had sent out a couple of tweets that were questionable. So the Academy confronted Kevin Hart about the tweets. And they said, Kevin, can you please explain? And Kevin was like, yes, I said those things. I acknowledged them 10 years ago. And I apologized 10 years ago. Can we move forward? And the Academy was like, well, good, Kevin. We're glad that you apologized because they've been brought to our attention again. And we need for this to go away. So we need you to apologize. And Kevin said, you can't make me apologize twice for the same thing 10 years apart. And they said, well, you have to, because if you don't, you cannot host the Oscars. And Kevin said, well, thank you, but no thank you. And he walked away from the job. I would have done the same thing in his position. Because by him apologizing, he gives more power to cancel culture, and we can't give him more. We got to take it back. So now the Academy was left with a problem, trying to find a suitable replacement for Kevin Hart, which is not an easy thing to do. So they reached out to a bunch of actors to see if there was interest, and everyone said the same thing. Thank you, but no thank you. We want no part of that Kevin Hart drama. No one wanted the job. Me, on the other hand, oh, I recognize a job opening when I see one. So I had my manager call the Academy, and the Academy was thrilled to hear from anyone. They were like, Gabriel Iglesias, yes, we know who he is. He's very funny, very witty. We think he would make a good host for the Oscars. Please have him submit some comedy material so we can see what the vibe of the night would be. And based on the material, we'll make our choice. So that's what I did. I sat down one night, got a pen, piece of paper, wrote out a bunch of jokes, and I turned them into the Oscars. And I think that's why they said no. I have a bus driver named Dave who has never received any credit, and he's been working for me for almost 10 years now. This man has successfully gotten me to every single comedy show on time without fail. If I had to describe him to you, okay? Dave looks like the word America. Not America, America.
He's about 6 feet tall. He's white. He has a gray beard, and he wears a trucker hat. And he's got to be one of the most hardworking people I have ever met. Now, when I say hardworking, hey, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year, so I know. Difference is, I fly home every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Dave stays on that bus, and he gets it to the next city where we meet him. He works anniversaries, holidays, special moments. Christmas time, I was with my family. Dave was driving that bus on the East Coast. New Year's, I was with my family. Dave was on the East Coast driving that bus. One of the hardest working people I've ever met. I just want to give him a shout out. In addition to being hardworking, he's very honest. Now, when I say honest, I don't mean, oh, he does his taxes right. I mean painfully honest, no filter honest. He talks the way people used to. He does not have time to mince words. He just calls it like he sees it. Before me, he used to work with a man by the name of Kenny G. Grammy Award winner, amazing, amazing music. One day, Kenny G was on his tour bus that Dave was driving, and I guess the two of them had a little discussion, and Kenny G used some words that Dave would have rather him not have used, and instead of getting into it with him, this is what Dave does. Kicked Kenny G off of his own bus. Because he would rather lose his job than lose his self-respect. And that's the man I work with. He's a bad dude. You guys are clapping, but you should have seen the interview. Oh man, it was a good one. He looks at me and he says, hey, let's get one thing straight. I don't give a who you are. You treat me right, I'll treat you right. You pay me on time, you'll live. Not to mention the fact that he keeps that tour bus squeaky clean. And he takes a lot of pride in that as well. One night, I was drinking on the bus, and I go to put my cup down, and I missed the table, and the cup hit the floor. I didn't get up right away to get the cup, because I figured I'm gonna get up in a couple minutes and make myself another drink. I'll pick up the cup then. Dave sees the cup on the floor, and then he looks at me and says, hey, I ain't your mama, pick that shit up. I get to the back of the bus and I'm like, wait a minute, I pay him. Hey, Dave, shut up. Yeah, I'll be in the back in my room. Thank you. Drive safe. And people tell me, you work with a man who talks that way to you? Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's honest. With Dave, you know exactly what you get. Nowadays, it is so hard for me to tell who's being genuine and who has an agenda. And with him, you know exactly where you stand. If he likes you, he loves you. And if not, you're on the curb with Kenny G. That being said, I have a story to share. About 1.5 years ago, maybe longer, we're on the bus and we're heading down the highway. Just so you have kind of an understanding of the bus layout, let's say this is the front. Here's Dave, the driver, empty seat, and then a sliding door that goes in between him and the rest of the tour bus. My buddy Alfred and I are in the living room portion and we're watching TV. We're watching the news. And on the news, there's this person who is running for some type of office. No particular office. And I guess their big plan is to erect a structure between two bodies of land. Somewhere. And I guess they want one side of the structure to finance the entire project. Well, my buddy Alfred and I, we have a lot of family that works in construction, and we know a bad job when we see one.
So we started to voice our opinion out loud about how we felt about this person and what they wanted to do. We're being very loud. So loud, Dave can hear us. And then we hear Dave.
America.
I yell out to Dave. I said, "Be quiet, Dave. This isn't about you." He taps a button on the dashboard that activates the sliding door. And when the door is about that far from closing, he yells out,
I'm building a wall.
I couldn't even get upset because I was too much in shock over the fact that that came out of someone 4 feet away from me. My buddy Alfred and I, we look like chickens. We're like... My cell phone goes off. I take out my phone, and there's a text message from Dave. And I said, that's right, he better say I'm sorry. He better say just kidding. I open up the text message, and it says, and you're paying for it. And people tell me, you still work with him after that? Yes, I do. I trust that man with my...
And it's funny because, you know, for me to relate to my son, it's a little challenging, you guys. And it's not that I can't relate to a teenager, because I can. I can relate to almost any age. You know, I got people that brought kids here tonight. The problem is that my son doesn't see me as an entertainer. He sees me as the guy that tells him to take a shower, put on deodorant, you know, stop picking your nose. That's me. His friends, on the other hand, I'm like a god to his friends. Every time I drop off Frankie at school now, I pull up, you know, the kids see my car. They freak out and they run over to it and they put their hands on it like it's a shrine. They touch the car like freaking, Selena está aquí, you know? Some of you got that. Gracias. Anyway. Then the kids start shaking my car side to side, chanting, Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. And Frankie's in the front seat, pissed. He's pissed. He's like, this is bull. I'm like, hey, dude, don't get mad at me because I'm more popular than you at your school. Little hater. He gets out of the car all mad. They're still chanting, Fluffy, Fluffy. The thing is that our worlds are very different. His world revolves around Grand Theft Auto, the video game, YouTube, and girls. He's really good at 2 of those. The other one, not so much. And it's not that I'm trying to be a hater about it. It's just that I tell Frankie, listen, you need to start having more conversations. You need to become more talkative and interact like this. See, he'd rather text than talk. That's his whole thing. I'm like, dude, you gotta learn, you know, start to talk to me. I wish you would talk to me more. You could learn a lot about talking by talking to me. I'm just saying, I only do it professionally. But no, he'd rather text. It's at the point now where if I'm in the house and I yell, Frankie, did you take out the trash? Nothing. All of a sudden, cling. I take out my phone, no. But if I say, I got money for you, freaking Houdini, right? Oh, hello. Because you can't text cash. That's my big thing right now. I just want him to take out the trash. He's 16 years old now. He should have been doing this since he was 10, but, you know, better late than never. And what he does is he'll sit in the living room and he tunes out the rest of the house. He sits there and he'll put on these headphones that I got him for Christmas a couple of years ago. These Beats with the freaking studio button, and it cuts out all of the sound. They are so strong that when he starts watching his YouTube videos, he can't hear himself laugh. And for me, that is the funniest thing in the world. I'm in the other room and I can hear him. This is what I hear. I'm in the other room like, who brought the Germans? And so I walk out into the living room and I see Frankie and he's laughing at his phone and I gotta flag him down. I go, hey. And he'll take him off. What's up, Dad? I go, Frankie, Can you do me a favor? Can you please take out the trash? Okay. And then he puts them back on. What? Now? I go, yes. Now? When you ask me for a ride, it's because you need a ride when you ask for it, right? Not later. Then he says, where are we going? Just take out the trash. And then he does it. He takes out the trash, but he acts like he's doing me the biggest favor in the world. And he stares me down and he doesn't break eye contact. He's like, and then I'll hold the bag over the can and he makes a sound. I'm like, dude, so much drama. It's crazy. I'd like to have normal conversations with him, but usually I got to take it that far for us to interact. You know, I look forward to conversations. Even if it's something small and minute, at least it gives me a chance to trigger another conversation with him. I look forward to a few things. I look forward to December, because in December, Frankie becomes very chatty. Otherwise, he's one-word kid. Parents, you know what I'm talking about. Kids, one-word kid. And you try to talk to him. Hey, how's your day? Good. You have any homework? Yeah. You gonna do it? Maybe. You hungry? Mm-hmm. What do you want? Food. Ah! Usually that's what I get. But December rolls around, and guess what December is? December is when he becomes very chatty because he has an agenda. All of a sudden, he goes from one-word kid to very like, hey, how's your week, Dad? You doing good? Yeah, how are the shows going? You doing all right? Do you need anything? You need anything? I'm like, I needed this in July.